And they're actually, this is unusual because the coping is basically built into the structure of the concrete. So, but it looks like it's been well skated, especially over on the far lip over there. And yeah, a nice little like kidney bean pool. And you could tell, I mean, this is actually a pretty large drain down there, considering just in general, you usually don't see a drain that large. But so yeah, I mean, something like this, these are like I just look at that, I'm like, this is like a high skill type of thing. Although the skill level, from what I'm used to in the 90s, has really increased too. So it's, you know, and the other thing is that if you don't have access to a park like that, how are you, like this, if you don't have access to this type of park, how are you going to like develop those skills? So this is kind of an interesting thing because now they're transitioning up, and this is getting into like a top bowl too, which we kind of saw over in the skate park that was how to describe it, on the big hill in the other part of Pittsburgh, with the full pipe. So this whole idea of like having the skateboard go beyond vert, and even it looks now this might be total vert. So vert is vertical. See that's going to be hard to keep grinding on. That's pretty choppy. But yeah, there's like some elements here that are pretty unusual, and you know, might be like really desirable for if you're interested in this kind of stuff. You know, going beyond vert. I mean, these are, and then, you know, continue. So you could learn over in the kidney bean some bowl skating. Then you can get in here and start learning, basically going higher and even just a tad over vert, beyond vert, and then this thing, which I don't know what to call this. It's like a beanbag chair. I don't know. That's interesting. To try to come up and around, so it's almost like you're getting into a little bit of like a wall ride situation over there. That is. I don't even know if I've ever seen something like that before. Then you got this piece. This looks like, so this is like a this is like, you know, basically setting up for a drop in here, or like a sort of like a place for a rock and roll, or like you basically tap it at the top there, and then you increase the elevation over here of the floor. So this floor over here is deeper than this floor over here, but you have this pretty large, bold, beyond vert situation, like a coffee mug or something. I mean, that is unusual, and that's got to create some real some opportunities for some really difficult and some, you know, just you know, skating that's not what that's not your ordinary skate environment right there. You do have that drain to be cognizant of, but that seems like these drains are set really well. That's really important when you get in these environments, to have a drain that's flush with the floor. And then you kind of come over here. So what they've done is I kind of went the other way. You're supposed to kind of like, you start over here. Well, that's what it's asking for. It's like the terrain itself is basically saying like, start over here. The flow is in this way. You can carve this way. You kind of come up over there if you want. Now you're carving over here. You're hitting that over here. Now you're getting the extrovert. You do the extrovert. it's extroverted. And it's kind of introverted too. It's introverted and extroverted over there. Then you do that over there. Then you get over there on the other side, and then you're actually, that was the one part that we didn't explore. So maybe it's worth getting back over here. So you come down through here, you get over there, you're going up here, you get some extrovert, introvert, coffee mug thing over there, and or like a incense candle. I don't know, what is that? Half half an incense candle thing. And so then you pop over it. So now you get down over here, you kind of come over this hill, gaining speed because now you're in a lower floor. So you've got a little bit extra speed and pump. And now you're up here. You could do the beanbag seat. You got this ledge, which you didn't see before, which is either a stall spot or something to use or a drop-in start. And then you're back up here with another, with the introvert. It's a very small, very slight extrovert situation with this bowl that is, as you can see, it's just coming up right there. So yeah, it's a really, and then you get back to the kidney being here. But then that also, what we didn't get is this area here. So this is kind of interesting how this became like like this, a line. These are two sort of different panels. So this is the back of the beanbag chair, and this whole area. And it looks like, unfortunately, there's a missing piece of that grate that just is a little concerning. But this kind of lends itself to another run, basically. So you can get up here. So they're basically they got the huge run here that starts over in this area that you can just kind of like go in. It's asking. It's like, welcome to my run here. And then you've got this smaller run here as far as like length is concerned. And here you can kind of carve. So I think this what this park does, and you go back, you got, wow, there's just like a lot of options here. And they also have it, so they're using the back of the coffee mug becomes yet another, it's in this case, I think it's still vert. It doesn't go over vert over there in that direction, but it's still giving you like a good challenge over there. But so and this is this sort of inside quarter, which is also sort of unexpected, what you're gonna of yet again using all the space, like all the square footage of the park, just to put another like inside quarter right there. And so this is almost like a double pyramid. You got, in a way, I mean, it's a really sculpted like form. It almost seems like a piece of, someone had like clay, and just sort of said, okay, let's put this here. But it was also someone who knew how to skateboard, and someone who knew, like, he understood lines. And so I'm not saying it's a haphazard, but it's much more sculptural than your ordinary park. It's really dynamic. So yeah, it's just got a lot of things going on. All right, pretty intense here. Findlay Township, yeah. So that's this park. I mean, so as far as skill space is concerned, yeah, we saw sort of limited options on the park itself. I think you could get maximum like two, 3 people, maybe 4 to do something in one of these areas that are really close to the skate park. A little bit over there, and no matter what it is, it's going to be like small stuff. So this would actually be a good place for like passing balls, come to think of it. We usually don't do, like, rings are really difficult to do outside because they get blown away in the wind. Clubs create like necessitate a larger space, but passing balls is like a lot of fun, actually. and it's small. It tends to be a much smaller space activity. So passing balls is something, of course. Like I said before, we usually emphasize the social aspect, but I'm trying to figure out a way to like incorporate the when you want a solo skill like on your own, like, and what that's gonna what that's about, where we are about that. So yeah, Finlay Township Park, and yeah, just a much more involved skate park than I had anticipated. Yeah, like that's really involved what they did with the concrete over there. So kudos to everyone who put that together, maintaining it, etc. And it looks like it's in use. People are still using it and appreciate it in an environment like this, in such a mountainous, hilly terrain. It's also just like a moment to think about how much skateboarding has sort of like overcomes these environments. Like the demand for this is so high that townships, municipalities, cities, they want to put this stuff in, even in a place where there are, like the obstacle of having these sort of more hilly, mountainous terrains to begin with. So I mean, if you're really interested in skateboarding, if you love skateboarding and you want to skate, like, you're already having limited options to begin with by living in an area like this. And a lot of times it's young people who don't kind of have a choice, they're with their families, they're with their the people who are taking care of them. So they may not have those choices. So to have a park like this is great, and then so basically creating an area, even for the flat, if you get a chance to do some flatland, there, skate parks usually have a little bit of that to practice. Or if you're going to be skating right out in the parking lot, avoiding and not not involving any other persons or cars or stuff, they probably don't want you skating out here actually. But skateboarding, it's like skateboarders will find a flat surface somewhere and learn to pop shove it, or shove it, pop shove it, ollie, turn, tic tac, and all that stuff. Like they're gonna do it. They're gonna find it. They can get a skateboard, and they're gonna learn it. It's hard. I'm not saying it's easy, but that's what skateboarders have been doing that basically the whole time skateboarding has been happening. Sort of self-learning those skills. All right, that's all. Till next video. Bye.